Welcome to another Boss Katana Distortion tutorial. This go around, we're going to be tackling the HM-2, the Swedish chainsaw, the heavy metal pedal that is kind of infamous at sounding terrible. But we're going to see what we can do to make it sound less terrible or to sound more terrible. So I was playing with this one in the tune of Entombed Wolverine Blues, a little death and roll if you're not familiar with it. Look it up. But we're going to dial in this pedal, and it's not for everyone. It's a very gritty, grungy, muddy sounding pedal. It's not for everyone, and you're going to see that here in just a moment. But let's take a look at our panel here. And once again, starting with a sterile tone. But this time around, if you watched my Metal Zone tutorial, up in the system here, I had it set with the ribbon 121 at 10 centimeters away from the speaker, 4 centimeters offset. This time around, we're going to use a dynamic 421. I think it's the Sennheiser. And same thing, 10 and 4. So that's what we're going to do differently on this one. Panel going across here. We got everything set up. Let's do our chain real quick. Actually, let's do the panel. We'll do the chain. First, we'll do the chain. We're going to use chain 1 on this just because it sounds good on chain 1. Then let's go to our booster. How about I make this a little bit bigger? There we go. That'll work. Hopefully, my stupid face doesn't block out too much here. So, up on the panel, we're starting with a clean amp again, no variation. We're going to dial that gain. That's going to be too much gain for this pedal. We're going to dial it down to about 28-ish, 29-ish, and we're going to crank the volume because it sounds good with volume. We're going to crank that at about 88, 89. Bump up the bass to, let's see. Well, what do I have it at? 55. And then I had the mids dialed just down just a little bit. And then treble up to about 73. So we're adding a little bit of treble here. Cabin resonance will be modern, and we'll bump up that presence to about 70-ish. Going back over to the booster. Let's get the pedal ready. HM-2, it's down towards the bottom. Maybe next time I'll do the metalcore one, and we'll try to gear that towards kill switch engage maybe. All that remains. We'll see. Probably kill switch. We're going to select the HM-2 here, and we want to stop for a second. Let's talk about the HM-2. Okay. The HM-2 is a pedal that if you talk to the normal metalhead who's familiar with it, they'll tell you got to dime it all out. Everything's got to be turned up to 10. You got 4 knobs on there. You got level, low, high, and gain, or is it distortion? I don't remember. I got it up behind me. But they said dime it out and play it. We're about to find out what it sounds like dimed out here. Let's dime it out. Let's go. It goes up to 120. Let's go to 120. To hell with it. 50-50 and effects level. Are you ready? I might have to adjust this when I edit so it's not so damn loud. But you can already hear it straight through the noise gate. Is that enough? All right. Yeah, we don't want that. Let's dial it back to 44, and we'll dial this to 5, and same thing with the bottom. They sound pretty good if you got them balanced. And the effects level down to about 43-ish, I suppose. And now let's listen to it. What I'm working with as far as guitar today, this is an Ibanez RG270. It's like a 1998, and I've got some Mammoth Slinkies on here, and it's tuned to C because this pedal sounds a lot better when it's tuned low. Entombed, I think Wolverine Blues was tuned to B, and I don't have my baritone guitar anymore. I gave up on it and got a good trade. Anyway, it sounds good when it's tuned down. So we got our booster going here. What is next? Let's see. Let's go straight to EQ1. All right. I got a little experiment here that we're going to do in just a second. But this is what I have tuned here. This is EQ peaked to Entombed Wolverine Blues. If you're not familiar with the song, like I said, look it up. We're going to go to -1 here, -0.5, +2, -1, minus 1.5, minus 0.5, 1.5, minus 1.5, and then these last two are minus 3 and minus 8. Yeah, it's right in front of me. And then we're going to pump it to level about 3.5. So let's hear it now. Dry signal. Not dry, but what it is now. With this EQ. Now with another EQ I have set up in here already. As I suspected, I want to go with this EQ right here because I dialed this one into Entombed and it just doesn't quite sound right to me. You might not even be able to tell a difference, but I can. And I don't like that one, so we're gonna go with this one over here. And then let's dial in our parametric EQ. Now you can do more than one EQ. Over here you've got more EQs and you can wave a stick at. But these EQs, this graphic equalizer over here doesn't go to half marks. It's all one. So let's go back over here. Dial in that amp in parametric EQ. What is this one? Is that one supposed to be amp out or amp in? Let's go back over here. Let's see, is it still dialed in? It is dialed in. Let's try both of them on amp out. I know I'm all over the place today. Let's see what it sounds like. This is all about experimentation. Kind of muddy. See, that's what I don't like about this one. It's kind of muddy. Yeah, we're going to ditch this one. And we're going to go to parametric EQ. And it's going to be amp in. And we're going to dial this low gain to just 1 decibel. Minus 2 on this one. We're going to go 250 hertz on the low mids. And up to 40 on the low cut. On the high mid cut, we're going to go up to 5. High gain, plus 1, plus 4 on the level, 5 hertz, kilohertz there, and 2 kilohertz there. And we might play with this. Let's see how it sounds now. Five seems like a good place to leave it right there. So we got our parametric EQ dialed in, and next thing we'll add a compressor to it, just like the HM or the MT2. We're gonna go with a light compressor, but this time we're gonna kind of crank up the level here to about 70, and give it a little bit of tone. Dial back the attack to about 50, and we can leave that right there. So let's hear it. Levels it out and kind of gives a little bite to it. And if you don't like all that bite, you roll the tone back a bit. And lastly, let's add some reverb to it. Let's add some room reverb. 3.1 milliset 10. Yeah, we can go across like this. Let's see what we sound like at halfway with the effects level. Let's see what it sounds like with the plate reverb. It's not even on. What am I doing? What am I really doing? I'm sitting here making all these adjustments, saying, something's wrong, and obviously something's wrong. It's not on. I'm still getting some kind of interference there. I'm not sure what that is. Let's go down to plate. So plate or reverb or room, you don't need too much. Let's take a look at our noise suppressor, see what that says. Let's put that right at 52. It's been a long time since I tried to play that. All right, enough noodling around. Noodling. That's not noodling. Oh, what's wrong with me tonight? So we've got everything just about dialed in. We are dialed in. So this is where we're at. Now, I did say we're going to try to test it out with a regular E standard tune guitar, and we are. But, like I said, none of this is an exact science, and feel free to play around with it. I'll save this patch and I'll put it in the description below, and you can just kind of download that instead of going through all this, and then just tweak it from there to your liking. You may want to change the cabinet resonance to modern or vintage, or add some contour to it and see how that sounds. Let's grab a E standard guitar and see how this sounds now. This is just a Ibanez Geo. And it's got some Evos in it, though. So it sounds pretty good. And it plays really good, too, for a cheaper guitar. See, to me, this pedal just sounds a whole lot better if you're tuned way down to like C or B. But that's going to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this comes out helpful and you can play with it some more. Next up, we will do the ML2, and then we'll see about some of the other stuff from there as far as maybe a governor and playing around with some of those overdrives. See you next time. Oh, please like and subscribe. Are we supposed to say that anymore? I don't know. We'll see you next time.